A question that keeps popping up in my DMs is it better to buy a turnkey structure for your glamping business or build your own?
Well, my thoughts would be to always build your own.
So why didn't we do that?
Good question.
In this episode, we're going to go through the pros and cons of buying versus building. So why did we not build our own?
Well, I think it came down to our planning permission, if I remember rightly. We were only given planning permission for canvas, which kind of limited our options a bit.
Well, I can't sew for toffee, and I certainly cannot sew on industrial scales. There was no way we were ever going to be sewing our own canvas.
No, definitely not.
We knew that we needed canvas, and so we arrived eventually on geodomes after been through yurts, been through bell tents, found that geodomes were the strongest.
Well, they're the most weatherproof, to be fair, because it's not just like your traditional cotton canvas, more of a plasticized canvas, and it just holds up in the weather so much better.
So it still cost us around about £10,000 for our smaller geodomes, and up to £40,000 to finish off.
Seriously? £40,000 for a canvas structure?
To do Fent Dome, I'm talking all the solar system, the outdoor bath, the ensuite, everything. That's how much Fent Dome cost.
Well, we could have just gone and bought a structure off the shelf for that.
Well, exactly. What is better? Because a geodome, you're sort of building your own.
It's a turnkey structure, though.
It's a turnkey structure, but you've got to add extras to it. Well, you don't have to.
I guess it's like a Meccano set.
Yeah, but you can, the versatility of it is you can add the bathroom, you can add the kitchen, you can do what you want with it, or you can just rent it out as it is.
Very true.
So it's a kind of halfway house, I would say.
Yeah. But we could have got one of these new funky tiny homes for about 40,000. Okay, maybe a little bit more.
That's baloney, Brian. Did you see how much that one was at the glamping show?
What, the £250,000 one?
No, I'm talking about the US glamping show.
Come on, that was a whole house. You can live in that.
Yeah, that was amazing. But that is just literally you pay the money, they drive it up, they plonk it there, and it is done.
I like that idea.
That does sound quite good.
But it'll take you a lot longer to get a return on investment.
It will. We have built our own wooden structure, like complete bespoke structures. We've built the octagonal cabin,
that's fun.
which we use for afternoon teas, but could equally be used for a glamping structure.
Yeah.
And we built the A-frame.
You mean the dog kennel?
Which is still not finished. We don't talk about that in our house.
Well, it's now just a glorified shed, isn't it? It's got bicycles in it. It's got storage stuff.
But it could be accommodation if we had sorted ourselves out.
There's always something else on the go.
I know. Anyway, so this is where it gets interesting. We built this octagonal cabin for around £2,500, and that was with a little bit of labour, but mainly our own labour.
Yeah.
If we'd have bought the same structure, I went to a company that do octagonal structures, and they wanted £25,000 for a 5-metre octagonal.
To be fair, theirs would have been a much better finish than ours. Ours is a bit rough and ready around the seams.
Well, that's part of the charm, and we built it, and we've got that satisfaction that we built it ourselves.
Yes, and I also know how to fix it if it breaks.
Yes. The A-frame cost us around £3,500, and yes, you may like the shape of it or not like the shape of it. So if you took this one here, that just off the shelf, is more like £36,000.
Well, but what are you getting for your £36,000? Is that fully insulated? Has it got all the electrics in it?
Yeah, it's all the SIP panels. It's insulated. It's got glass. Okay. It's amazing.
So it's beautiful.
But there's no reason you couldn't do that yourself.
You could get very close to it, definitely.
Yeah. Recently, I've been speaking to Liz from Meadow Falls about why they decided to build their own structures at their glamping site.
So what did they build?
They just built a brand new 15-foot by 9-foot wooden cabin, and it cost them around £15,000.
Okay.
They dug their own foundations, they did their own first fix electrics, they basically did everything. They hired the digger, they did it all themselves. So he's very handy. And then they got a plumber and electrician in to do the second fix and make sure it was all safe. After they'd bought their first 4 pods, they bought 4 off-the-shelf pods, they decided that they could probably do it better themselves. And they started buying a kit and then finishing off the kit. So like the framework of it. And then they finished off and built it out.
Yeah, no, because I have seen a couple of companies that will just give you the shell,
and
then you can clad it however you want, and it's just an empty structure that you can then do whatever you want with it.
And make it more bespoke.
Yeah.
So Liz told me they have permission for 10 pods and they just keep building them bigger and better as the market demands. And Liz was saying to me that now she's feeling like people are wanting way more for...
Way less,
basically. Which seems to be the problem. So they started off having really basic pods that just had a bed in them. And then they found that as they upped their game and added bunk beds in and added all the extra things, that's when the booking started really taking off. So let's go through the pros and cons. So pro, you get a completely bespoke, unique structure that nobody else in the world has.
Now, I think that's a real unique selling point right there, because everybody can have the same shepherd's hut, but what differentiates you? That's what I really like about being bespoke. You can make something truly unique that sets you apart in the market.
Cost. It's normally way cheaper to just build something right from scratch.
True, and then if it does break or whatever, you know how to fix it. But I suppose there is a con in that as well, in that not everybody's handy and can just turn their hand to building something.
Well, that was one of my cons and now you jumped ahead. But that's fine, that's a con. Another pro is that you have the satisfaction of you have built this yourself, and guests love that. Like, guests love asking questions about where the structure came from, who built it, that sort of thing. They love that. They love that type of stuff.
True, but at the same time, I was going grey, especially with the octagonal hat and trying to get all those angles to line up and that. But there was an immense sense of satisfaction at the end when it was done, and we could sit back and actually have I think we had afternoon tea or birthday cake or something. I think it was for Annabelle's birthday.
Yeah.
And we sat in there and was like, it's done. This is actually quite cool.
Yeah.
So no, immense satisfaction.
Another pro is you get the specifications exactly to how you want it. So you're not taking something off the shelf that there's set dimensions. You can just build whatever the size that you've got the space for.
Whoa. Within reason of your planning application.
Well, that's going to be one of my cons.
Because you can want to build the most grandiose thing, but if the government and council say that you can't, well then you are scuppered.
So con, planning permission. It's probably much harder to get planning permission for a really bespoke structure. Something you can't demonstrate what it's going to look like. I think that's much harder, and then it's probably not going to be a temporary or movable structure necessarily unless you build something on wheels. It's going to be something that needs foundations and therefore is going to be slightly harder to get planning permission for.
I'd like to build a hobbit hole.
Would you?
I think that'd be really cool, and then that would be in keeping with the grass, something truly unique.
Yeah.
But I don't think they'd let me do that.
Not necessarily.
No. So we'll stick with igloos.
Domes.
Igloo. Pods.
Another con is whether you've got the confidence, like you said, in your building ability. Obviously, there's nothing to stop you going to get a carpenter to build it, but obviously that's going to double, triple the cost of it.
You say that, but if you've never built before, you potentially could end up wasting a lot of wood on a structure that potentially implodes on you.
But we had absolutely no DIY experience before we built either of these structures. Zero.
That is true, but I did work it all out in my head first.
Yeah,
And
we
even
built
made
little sticks model,
Yes,
didn't we?
we did
to
build
try
a
and
scale.
and that fell down.
That did fall down.
Yeah.
However, this one's still going. How many years later?
Yeah, 4 years.
4 years,
right,
it's still going.
Yeah, it's fine.
If you have made it this far, we'd like to have a bit of fun. If you drop in the comment the structure that I'm thinking about right now that I would really like to build as my next structure, not the Hobbit house that I just told you earlier, because that one we know I want to build. I'm thinking of something else. Vicky will send you a prize. She will pick, out of all the people that got it right, she'll pick a winner at random and send you a prize. So I'm now thinking of a structure.
So we will let you know in next week's video what that structure was and who is the winner of the prize. The other con is the time it's going to take. If you just get something that somebody else has built and then you just pick it up and plonk it on your site, the time is zero, isn't it, really?
That's very true.
Apart from the lead time you're talking about of when you order it to when you actually receive it.
But whilst you're waiting for that to be coming, you could be doing a website design, you could be doing marketing. There's so much stuff that you could be doing with that time instead of out there building.
Yeah, but it was fun.
It was great fun. No, it was fun.
But it's your time as well. It's whether you physically have the time to build that structure. Then the last con is the kind of building regs and fire regs.
Yes.
So when you buy a structure, like we know that True Domes has been tested for fire regulations and fire retardant materials, that sort of thing. Are you confident in what you're building is going to withstand that sort of thing? Obviously, we built wooden structures.
To a degree.
I mean, wood is wood, you know, if it's going to...
No, because you can put thermal barriers in, I believe, and stuff to try and slow it down. But yes, at the end of the day, it is wood.
Yeah. But as long as you've got the right evacuation procedures in place, it should be fine.
Exactly. So, in conclusion, I think build your own bespoke, as long as your planning allows.
Yeah, but that's the thing. When you go in for planning permission, design it already and go in with this is what I'm going to build, and then you'll be fine.
But at the same time, it's quite nice to get a kit and not have all the stress hanging over you in case you make a pig's ear of it. You can just take the kit, build it, and then you have something at the end that you know is a tried and tested. So there's an argument for both. I think it's down to personal preference.
So we would love to know what you've done. Have you built your own structure? Would you build your own structure? If you're a glamping guest, what do you rather stay in? Do you rather stay in something that's a tent that you've seen lots of, or do you like it when you stay in a completely bespoke structure that is something you've never seen before, like an A-frame treehouse or something like that? We would love to know your thoughts. Please drop them in the comments and let us know. And if there's anything you want us to make videos about, if you find there's something burning question you have, leave that in the comments or DM me and we'll see what we can do.
Until next time, when we see you here at Tractors and Cream in our new studio. We just need a play button there, please. So, please, hit the likes, hit the subscribe, share it with your friends, tell us what you want us to make. So we really want a play button there. And a one there. It'd be nice. We could have one either side.
So in order to get a play button, you need 100,000 subscribers, and we're on 10,000, nowhere near 100,000. And then to get the second play button, you need to have 1 million subscribers. That's 1 million people subscribing to a channel about glamping. Is that going to happen?
Yeah, no, I think we're too niche, or niche, depending where in the world you are. Yeah.
But anyway, if you want to help us get to that first play button of 100,000, I think that's doable.
Okay.
You can do it. You can help us, and we
You
promise.
can help us by sharing.
If you subscribe to the channel, we will try and make our videos better and better for you because we really appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Have we covered everything?
I believe we have covered everything.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on our next video.